My money is on it still does it.
You never know. You don't know until you try.
We are definitely not trying that. And we are live. What is going on, LBHT crew? You see the Rain King shirt here, man. You know, we put a video out a couple weeks ago. Okay, there's a familiar face on there. Somebody you haven't seen in a while, OTR Mike. All right, so go check it out. Rain King's podcast. Okay. Go support that. We're gonna put out some more episodes here in the near future. All right. So B's rolling his eyes. Don't roll your eyes.
I
Okay.
didn't roll anything. I was looking at the top of my screen. It's a large screen.
All right, but we're here to talk about the Ravens. The Ravens just locked up the AFC North. Okay, beat down the Browns. It was expected, 35-10. It was entertaining to watch. I saw a big Michael Pierce got an interception at the end there. The announcers were trying to get on him for not trying to return it. I'm sorry, but 358 pounds, trying to run down the field. That's not good for your joints. All right. He did the right
Rumbling and
thing.
stumbling. All right. It's for the fans.
Yeah.
It ain't about his joints.
What's up, Felipe? He says Josh Allen still winning MVP over Lamar. They're gonna push that. You know, the number one Josh Allen supporter was announcing the game, Dan Orlovsky, and he tried to downplay Lamar's performance today, which wasn't, he's right. It wasn't his best performance, obviously, but he made history once again. First player ever to throw for 4,000 yards and run for over 800. Really, it's 900. I think he finished. He finished with 900 yards. So
also the first player ever to throw 40 or more touchdowns and fewer than 5 interceptions.
Yeah. So,
but that's for another video.
That's for another video. Yes, that's for another video. All right, you guys stay tuned for that. All right, Danity, what is going on? It says Kings of the North, champions. Let's go Ravens. Yes. Paid bills performer. And I like Dan for the most part, but they're pushing an agenda. Just Allo, not Josh Allo, just Allo. What's going on? Says, what's up, LBHT crew? I'm glad we won, even though the wide receivers let Lamar down today. They did.
Yeah, they didn't have a great day. And really the biggest thing from this game is Zay Flowers' health. He went down clutching at his knee after a catch and didn't return to the game. Hopefully, it's not anything serious, but haven't seen any updates yet.
Yeah, so it looked like, I'm not sure, he was grabbing his knee area, but he was rubbing his shin. And on the replay, it looked like number 43 for the Browns fell on it when he was going to the ground. So
it could be. And when I was watching it, it looked like he hurt it when he planted his foot. But, I'm not sure. Because he planted his foot and then he kind of stumbled forward 3 or 4 steps and fell down and started grabbing at his knee. But also, like you said, the Browns player fell on him at that point. So, we'll see. We'll see. Yeah. Hopefully it's nothing serious.
What's going on, Darius? Brodny and Jose, what's up? What's up with you? But just Al's absolutely right. They let Lamar down because there was another record he was trying to break today, right? The highest QB rating in NFL history.
Mm-hmm.
Now, he needed a high rating today. I think he needed like 130 or something like that. I'm not sure where he finished. I think he finished probably around 100. So still, obviously still up there historically.
Yeah.
All right. But that'd be a nice little cherry on top of the regular season.
Yeah, it's safe to say when you add in, of course, his rushing, he just finished probably the greatest season for a quarterback ever. So,
yeah. But give it to Josh Allen though. But Josh Allen is the most important player for his team.
Yeah.
Okay. What would they do without Josh Allen?
Who knows?
Obviously, with 9 Pro Bowlers on the team, the Ravens would be just fine without Lamar.
Yeah, I saw one of them almost scored a touchdown today. Old hard R. Ricard. He did everything he could to roll into the end zone.
Yeah. Phantom, what's going on? Says MP got more picks on the season than Marcus Williams. Nasty work. Also, what are y'all's thoughts on today's soft auditions at left guard? The right guy isn't suddenly going to appear in week 18. B asked earlier what happened to Macari, right? I said, I don't know. Like, he could be hurt. They could just he could have gotten benched. They could just be trying somebody out. You don't know. That's how little impact he makes, right?
True.
Like if Ronnie Stanley wasn't playing, we'd be saying, "What's going on?"
Yeah.
We need answers. We need to know that he's okay, right? He's gonna be fine for the playoffs, right? Like we need to know that. If something happened to Linderbaum, if he wasn't starting, we would need to know what happened. Makari, yeah, somebody's out there. Somebody's there. It's fine.
Yeah.
Big Reg. Hey, this is a secret weapon right here. I told you, Big Reg, you and I, okay, we're right here. Okay, he played the mind games, B. He played the
The art
mind
of
games,
war,
the art
deception.
of war, deception. Okay,
I
he
just want
said
to remind you that the guy who said that lost his fight 12-0. Right?
he got
He
he
didn't
he
he
got
didn't win a
crushed.
single round after his mind games and the art of deception. Anyway.
That was one of the cleanest ass whoopings I ever seen. But but it worked in Big Reg's case. Okay, he picked the Ravens to lose every game coming off the bye, and the opposite happened. Okay, reverse psychology. He woke them up. All right. What's going on, Buck? Says congrats on the division title. Thank you.
What's up, Buck?
What else we got in here? Slicer59 says great content, guys. Thank you. I appreciate it. Somebody left a comment on our Aaron Rodgers video, said don't quit our day jobs. I said, don't worry, we didn't. Thanks for your concern though.
Right.
Stanley says receivers had butterfingers for half the game. They did.
Yeah.
They
It's
did.
ugly.
92 QB rating is what he finished with. I'm wondering if he even has a 120 rating now. I don't know. I mean, I don't think that's going to bring down his overall average that much. But I don't know. Yeah. First team in NFL history to finish with over 4K passing and 3K rushing. Yeah, man. Like these are great accolades, man. These are great accomplishments. Had to finish with a Super Bowl. And this team understands that. All right. They understand that. So we got to go out there and do it. Osman, what's good? Thanks for coming through.
What's up, Osman?
Yeah. Killer's in the house. Says Ola Jose. Ola, Killer? What's good with you? And he didn't forget about you, B. Mucho gusto, Brodny.
Nice to meet you, Cam. Just Aloe says, bad news for us Lamar stat guys. Lamar went all the way down to 4th in passer rating today, 119.6. He is, of course, talking about 4th in NFL history.
Oh, in history.
Yeah. Not this season. No. 4th ever.
But give it to Josh Allen, though. Josh Hoffman, what's good? Says Harbaugh looks unhappy at work. Anyone else seeing this? I wouldn't be happy if I see one of my starting wide receivers go down. Right? And we just let a wide receiver go. Right?
Allegedly.
I joked on Coach's stream when Bateman got hurt, right? He got the wind knocked out of him. It looked like he got hit with a clean hit. He went down for a minute. I said, all right, Deontay, you're up. Yeah. Oh, Deontay's not here. Oh, never mind.
Rashad, he popped back up to his credit and came back in and produced after that. So good for him.
What's up, NDT Sports? Yep. You're right. Job's not finished. Let's see. One Sessions was good. Says this is also the first year that Lamar is not leading the team in rushing yards since 2018. Right.
Just terrible. Just a disgusting job from your GM.
And he still had 900 yards.
Yeah.
Like I like what the Bills do for Josh Allen. When we're making these comparisons, like they get him weapons, and yeah, he runs the ball a lot, and I think he runs a little bit more. Well, I know he runs a more reckless than Lamar does. They don't talk about that. That's the only thing that they need to fix with him. He's an excellent player, but he has 500 yards rushing. You know what I mean? Like that's what I want to see from Lamar. I want to see 500 or less. I don't want to see him keep running the ball like this. Although the way he runs now did not necessarily call in his number every other play now. It looks different.
You know what I want to see? This will be the last comment on Josh Allen. versus Lamar, because like I said, that's for another video. But I'd like to see Josh Allen stop vulturing his running backs touchdowns. You saw it in this game. The Ravens got down to the 2 yard line.
Yeah.
Lamar didn't call his own number; he gave it to Derrick Henry because that's
Yeah.
Derrick Henry's job.
Yeah. Yeah.
But whatever,
Exactly.
whatever.
Yeah. Well, yeah, it's fine.
That's fine.
It's fine.
It's okay.
Like that's it's literally the only category that he's leading Lamar Jackson in.
Yeah.
That's it. And interceptions, I guess, the other way. All right. We got somebody joining us, B. Let's bring him on. Our guy AD is in the house. What is good?
Yo, what's good?
What's going
Not
on,
much,
Adrian?
man. How you
See
doing?
how smooth that transition was? I'll give myself a little pat on the back for that one. Thanks for joining us. Appreciate it.
Already AFC North champs.
Yes, indeed. Yes,
Let's
indeed. So how you feeling about the game? How you feel about us getting ready for the playoffs?
I feel like we should have put them away earlier. Definitely, Lamar was in there way too long. I think they took him out with like 3-4 minutes left in the game, man. But a win is a win. 35-10. Shout out Derrick Henry and Todd Monken for finally giving Henry the ball in the second half. 8-0 when Derrick Henry has 20 carries. 4-5 when he has less than 20 carries. So the formula is simple: give the man the football, and then allow Lamar to play off of the running game. It's just, you don't have to be a rocket scientist, man. Like, the numbers are what they are. When Derrick Henry eats, the Ravens win every game.
There you go. And it is that simple, right? Like, it is very hard to tackle a guy like that. Even if you have success early on, you get tired. It wears on your body. And when he's still running at you full speed late in the third and fourth quarter, you don't want to commit to tackling him anymore.
Yeah, it's a mental thing, even more than physical, because he doesn't get smaller as the game goes on. Right. He's still 6'3", 250 or whatever he is, and he's just a big dude, right?
Yeah.
Defensive linebackers are used to hitting guys who are, 5'8" to 5'11", somewhere in there, right around 200 pounds. Maybe you get somebody up around 220, but this dude's bigger than them. And when he's lined up, 5, 6, 7 yards deep in the backfield, he's got a head of steam going before you ever even see him. And we know that he can get up over 20, 21 miles an hour. Like, that's not fun. Like, even there was a player he ran, he got like 5 yards before he got touched, and this Cleveland Browns linebacker stuck him, hit him right in the chest, brought him down. He couldn't have enjoyed it. Like, even when you make the tackle, you're going back to the huddle like, God, I hope they don't hand it to him again.
Yeah, right. Exactly. Like, it's that's a tough task, and also there's a threat of Lamar running, so you got to really commit to tackling Derrick Henry, and then you see he doesn't have the ball, and Lamar's taking off, and it's like, what do we do here? You know what I'm saying? Like, it's a tough task. It's a tough task. The defense, even though yes, it is the Browns, yes, is Bailey Zappi, DTR, but I like how the defense has come together these last few weeks. Now competition hasn't been great, but they weren't great in the beginning of the season either, and we were terrible, right? So I will take this improvement from the defense. And we got a super chat B from Josh. Oh yeah, I forgot. We got goals, ladies and gentlemen. All right, and we're not supposed to be here long.
Thank you, Josh. He says, how worried are we about goofy play calling killing us like last year in the AFC Championship game? Always assuming we don't lose to the penalties.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
So now I'm gonna say I gotta give John Harbaugh credit coming off the bye. I think he's done, for the most part, a good job calling these games. I give him credit for that. He just has to keep doing that, right? He just has to keep doing that. He doesn't have to be a genius out there, right? You have the winning formula. Keep doing that. That's your dog?
Yeah, that's my dog, man.
I ain't know you had a dog.
Man, she out every time I stream. She do something,
I was like, it's like, who brought a dog in here? But yeah, like, all he has to do is just play his game, right? Like don't get inside your own head. Hand the ball off to Derrick Henry. AD just gave you the stats. If Henry gets 20 carries, you walking out of there with the W. All right. And don't meddle. Let Lamar and them let him call the offense. Let him and Munkin call the offense. Let them figure it out. Don't do anything stupid. All right. Yes, we can win. So yes, but it does concern me because he's shown a pattern of it. It concerns me, but right now he's doing good. He just needs to keep doing that.
Just a quick update for you, Jose, because you were pretty confident that playoff Russ would show up and the Steelers would handle Cincinnati. Joe Burrow was 6 for 6 for 64 yards and a touchdown, and they are up 7-0.
Okay, well, it's time for Russ to cook now.
All right.
All right.
Okay. Yeah. No. As far as the play calling thing, like, it's still concerning. They've been the best rushing team in the league before. They've had an MVP at quarterback a couple times before. He panics when he gets into pressure situations. That's why the team doesn't respond well in pressure situations. It comes from the leadership. It comes from John Harbaugh. I don't know what the solution is. I mean, other than just coming out and getting the lead early and never giving it up. But you get in those close games, you get down early. John Harbaugh is going to panic. John Harbaugh is going to do something stupid. Now, I think that the team is good enough. They're playing well enough to overcome it. And I don't think you'll see a repeat of the last 5 or 6 years in the playoffs where they just don't run the ball. It's going to manifest in some other way. But I think the team is good enough to overcome it for now, so long as it doesn't continue. Right? If it's 1 or 2 instances of him doing something stupid, they'll be able to overcome it. But not if it's a constant thing. Not if they're behind for a long stretch or they're behind in multiple games. It's gonna bite them in the end. But hopefully they'll be able to go out there and just take the lead early, take the pressure off of John, and he won't have to worry about it.
All right.
Yeah, I agree. John going to choke if it come down to it, man. Like, can't leave it up to John. Gotta be Lamar. Gotta be Derrick Henry. Gotta be Zay Flowers. Hopefully that injury wasn't anything too serious. Rashad Bateman is playing really well. I think he has 9 touchdowns now.
Yeah.
Great year for him.
Yeah.
And Mark Andrews, he got to come through. He hasn't come through in the playoffs in his career so far. I don't know if he has a touchdown in his playoff career.
Nope.
He's too good of a player to not show up in big games. And the knock on Lamar and the Ravens is we don't show up in the playoffs. The only time you have a chance to fix that knock is in January in the playoffs. So that's what we have in front of us. It's going to be the Chargers or the Steelers. I think a lot of people would rather see the Chargers because we handled them a lot easier than we handled the Steelers this season,
Yeah.
I feel like. But regardless of who it is, you're going to have to beat good teams if you're going to make it and win a Super Bowl. So I don't care if it's Pittsburgh, Russell Wilson, TJ Watt and those guys. I don't care if it's Justin Herbert, Jim Harbaugh and the rest of those guys. Whoever it is that comes to the bank, we need to beat them down and not play with them early and often. The Ravens need to get out to a good start because we see, like you said, Brodny, Harbaugh panics when we get down early. I remember 2019 against the Titans. He panicked in that game. Lamar had 50 pass attempts. I think that was his second season as a starter. It's no excuse for an all-time leading rushing team to throw the ball 50 times at home as the number 1 seed in a playoff game. And this is just the MO of John Harbaugh when he gets down. And it doesn't even have to be 14, 17 points. It could be 3 points, 7 points, 6 points. He starts to panic. He goes away from the run, and the team feels that energy from him. So we need to see him cool, calm, and collected in this game. And, nobody's really expecting us to lose the wild card game, but the big test is going to be going to Buffalo, in my opinion, or going to KC, whichever one that ends up being. How do we respond if we get down in one of those games?
Yeah, I'm not super concerned about Buffalo. I think that they'll be able to go into Buffalo and win, but Kansas City is the big one. Like, Kansas City is the one who like they're in the Ravens' head. They're the Ravens' nightmare, essentially, right? That's the team they just cannot get past. So it'll be interesting to see how they respond if they do end up going up against Kansas City again. I think, honestly, I think if they do, they'll hand the ball to Derrick Henry. Lamar's playing better than anybody in the NFL, and they'll be able to handle business. But it's a tough mental block to get over, because that's a team that does not beat themselves. They always find ways to win at the end of the game. And I kind of feel like Baltimore would have to go in there and win convincingly to get over them.
Yeah. Speaking of Buffalo, are they resting their starters this week? Because they had the number 2 seed locked up, right?
They do. I'm not sure if they're resting their starters. I mean, there is one thing they don't have quite locked up yet. And they want it desperately, apparently, which is that MVP trophy for Josh Allen. I don't think you get it by sitting in the last week.
You know what? And kudos to them. That's another thing I like about. I like a lot of things about the Bills. I like how they treat at least Josh Allen. They recognize it's something that's important to him, and they want him to go out there and try to win it. Unlike what Philly's doing with Saquon Barkley. As of right now, I hope they have a change of heart. I think that is that's criminal, right? He only needs like 105 yards. I think. Who are they playing? The Bears.
Philly. I'm not sure who they have on their schedule. Let me pull it up here. He needs 101 yards to break.
I thought it said Giants. His old team.
Giants.
Yeah,
it is the Giants.
Yeah. That's even worse. That you're going to sit him against his old team with a chance to set a record like that.
I lose respect for coaches that do that.
Yeah.
Right, because to me that's selfish on the coaching on the coach's part, right? Because they'll try to say, "Hey, it's about the team, it's not about individual." No, sometimes it's about the individual, right?
Yeah, you have to recognize when that is.
Yeah, this is important, and it's for the organization too. Like that speaks volumes for the organization. I remember a player saying about talking about Byron Leftwich when he coached with the Bucks, right? It might have been Shady McCoy who was talking about it and how the players just like they loved him because like the last game of the season, he went in the locker room and asked everybody who has bonuses that they need to meet, right? Like that was important to him. He wanted to make sure that hey, you need another sack, we gotta get you another sack. Hey, you need this amount of yards, let's try to get you these yards so you can get your bonus. Like he wanted to make sure that you hit those milestones. And this is way bigger than that. This is for history. You have, even if Saquon says, because Saquon's that type of player that will say, nah, I'm good. Sit me out. No.
Well, no,
you need to go out there and get the record.
I think he did tell them he wanted to play. Like he said, he had a meeting with the coach. He didn't say specifically that he told him he wanted to play. He's like, we had the meeting, we talked about it, and then he made his decision. He's like, I think my family wants it more than I do, and all that. But you could tell on his face that he wanted to play. Especially you're going against your former team who refused to pay you when you wanted to stay, right? Like you're talking about with the bonuses. The flip side of that, you have the Dallas Cowboys who have Cooper Rush, who has a bonus tied to the percentage of snaps that he plays. He may hit that this weekend, and now they're talking about Trey Lance getting significant snaps for the first time of the season.
We think he's
gross.
ready.
It's really gross to me to see teams do that. I hate it. I hate it so much. And like you said, this is going to be, you're putting his name in the history books forever. And I don't know. I think you have to recognize that even if they were a top contender, which they're not the top team in the NFC. Nobody thinks that they're realistically going to come out of the NFC, and even if they did,
the Eagles?
Nobody thinks they're going to win
shot.
the Super Bowl. They have a shot. Everybody in the playoffs has a shot.
I think they are one of the top contenders.
Detroit and Minnesota are the top teams far and away.
Yeah,
and Green Bay is above them as well.
I don't think Green Bay's above them.
I'd put Green Bay above them. But regardless, I'm saying they're not the top team in the NFC by a stretch. They're at best third. You have to recognize that this is more important than the small chance that he gets hurt. Because even if he goes out there and he gets hurt and you miss him for the playoffs, man, so what? He was going after history.
Yes, nobody's ever going to look at you and say, "Why did you play him?" Everybody understands why. You got to let him go out there and get the record, man. and he's not going to get hurt.
And what was it going to take? A quarter? He's playing the Giants.
Right.
That's like 7 carries.
Th-
7
those,
carries, he's over 100.
those guys will lay down to let him get it.
Well, to play devil's advocate, I think Sirianni might feel like his coaching status is in jeopardy because a lot of fans in Philly have been calling for his head for the last several years,
Yes.
and I think he feels like he has the team to make a Super Bowl run as long as Jalen Hurts is healthy, Saquon is healthy, Slay is healthy, AJ Brown and Devontae Smith, obviously those guys got to be healthy. But if they have everybody that they need in the lineup, there's no reason to believe that they can't go potentially to Minnesota and or Detroit
I
and
agree with you.
win in an NFC Championship game if it comes down to that. So I think that that's the only dilemma that I would have if I were in Sirianni's position. But at the same time, we're talking about what, a 40-year-old record at this point that
Yes.
Eric Dickerson's held that record for 70%,
And,
60% of his life.
and that's not just for Saquon. That'll be a Philly record.
Yeah.
That's for the team.
That's for the O-line, for everybody.
Yeah.
And what's worse, right? What's worse, if he goes out there get hurt while trying to break the record, or you don't even let him get a chance to break the record and you still lose in the playoffs?
Because that's what's going to happen.
Because
they're not going to the Super Bowl.
Because make no mistake, it's Philly. They're not going to like you regardless. All right. They already don't like you. They decide they want you fired. Nothing short of a Super Bowl win. Even if you get that Super Bowl win, they still want you out of there.
Last coach that won the Super Bowl was out 2 years later.
Yeah. So don't worry about that. You want to be somebody that the players respect, that the organization respects, right? Because if you don't finish out your time there, you want to go somewhere else and get a job and have that reputation. Let him go out there and make history. That's an important thing, man. And I hate that. And he's not the only coach to do something like that. I remember Jim Caldwell. I didn't respect Jim Caldwell when he didn't let the Colts go out there and try to get a perfect season, and they lost the Super Bowl.
Mm-hmm.
So like, don't do it, ladies and gentlemen. If you have a chance for history, go and make history, and still try to win. It's football.
Yeah, but that start-sit dilemma is always tough. I mean, if you look at the Ravens last year sitting Lamar and really most of the starters, week 18 against Pittsburgh. I was at that game. It was cold, rainy, terrible, and we ended up losing. I can't even remember who was playing quarterback. It might have been the rookie. What's his name? Jones? I think he might have started.
Anthony Brown, I think.
Oh, Brown. Yeah, the rookie Brown. I don't even know if he's still in the league, but we lost that game, and it was a one-possession game, close the whole way, despite the fact that Lamar didn't play and a host of other starters. And you come out in that first playoff game, and you might be a little bit sluggish. Same thing. Talk about the Colts when they had the chance at a perfect record, and Caldwell said Peyton Manning and a lot of the starters. So it's always tough. Do you start them? Do you sit them? I'm more of a proponent of playing guys because guys get better by playing. They don't get better by sitting and resting. It's not the NBA with this load management stuff. These guys play one time a week. Now, granted, football is a super physical game, but I want my guys out there playing each and every week. Saquon should be playing this week, and he should be going for the record. And I don't want to hear that stuff about it would take him 17 games as opposed to 16 versus Eric Dickerson. OJ had 2,000 yards in 14 games when he broke the record. And there might be 20 games in 20 years. Who knows how many games they're going to go to at some point. The record is what the record is, regardless of the number of games that you play, in my opinion.
Yeah, and he's got 30-some carries, fewer than Eric Dickerson at this point anyway.
Right.
He's 100 yards behind him. Like I said, it's tough for coaches with that start-sit stuff unless you're going for something that matters, right? Because they waffle on that even when there's nothing at stake for the players. It's funny because like, hey, we don't want the rust, blah blah blah, versus the risk of injury. But yeah, I think you go out there, you let him play until he goes over 100 yards, and then you can pull your guys. Like it's not that big a deal. The risk, the risk isn't too great to say, hey, we gotta hold him out. I don't think it's not like anybody's going to be out there targeting Saquon, trying to hurt him while he's going for that record. and if that's the thing, like, you should be pulling guys far more often if you're that worried about injuries. Every time a game's locked up, all your starters should be coming out if that's your concern.
Yes.
But it's only because it's the last week of the season. And like as they said, they're going to go out there. They're going to play without Saquon. He's not going to get the record, and you're going to get bounced in the first or second round anyway. We have somebody backstage who might have a different opinion on whether or not Saquon should play this game. Giants fan, Ferris, how are you doing? Thanks for joining us.
I want him to play this game. He should play this game. Play the game. You should play the game. You should win this game. And make sure don't get rusty for the playoffs. The Eagles should play all their starters. All of them. Even that fraud at quarterback. Play them all. You know what I mean? Win this game. Win this game. A good morale booster. You go into the playoffs. You're not rusty. You got a head of momentum. We saw with the college football playoff, the 4 teams who had byes. Guess what happened to them? They all lost because they were rusty. There was no momentum. All the teams that played the week before had momentum, and they just kept going along and chugging along. They should play them, absolutely. And speaking of Eric Dickerson, by the way, I agree with you, Adrian. Eric Dickerson, I understand why you don't want someone to break your record. I understand you not being mad about that, but there's no asterisk to the record because you broke a 14 game record when they gave you 2 games to get 100 yards. Saquon's only been given 1 game extra, so you need to stop complaining about that part.
Right.
So like none of the records that are being broken in 17 games, none of them got asterisks. Like I remember when Cooper Kupp was gonna break Chris Johnson's receiving record, and people were like, "Oh, 17 games, 17 games." Yeah, they broke a record that was set in 14 games, and it was 16 games. Shut up. So yeah, play them all, guys. Nick Sirianni should play everybody. Try to win this game, man. You don't want to lose at home to the Giants. Why would you do that? No one wants to see Kenny Pickett.
You just don't want to see the Giants pick up another unnecessary win like they did.
Absolutely, because apparently today I found out today I had to root for the Browns because if the Browns won, we still would have had a shot at the number 1 pick. But now that the fact the Browns suck and they lost, we can only pick as high as 2.
I don't think that's the case, is it?
No, that's literally the case. Dan Duggan tweeted it out.
Browns are 3-14.
Yeah.
Did not realize they were that bad.
Yeah, the Browns were that bad, yes. So yeah, the highest we can pick is 2. And unfortunately, we beat the Browns this year.
Really? Yeah. Well, that's why. It's not because of that. Way to giant it up, though.
Yeah.
What are you doing scoring 45 on the Colts?
I don't know. Why are you asking me?
What is your problem?
Rodney, you know why I come on this program? You want to tell you why? Let me tell you why. The main reason. I get to talk actual good football on this program. You know what I mean? Now, I don't got to talk about the Giants. We don't got to talk about the Giants. I got my own show to do that. I got my own show to be angry. I come on because I'm a football fan, and I like talking about good football. I love talking about Lamar Jackson, one of the greats of the game. Honestly, I definitely, when he was a free agent, I definite collusion. Like they're playing with us. They think we're stupid. Why are teams coming out with statements? Why are teams coming out with statements saying we're not going to sign Lamar Jackson, the second best quarterback in the league, or first, depending on who you talk to? You know what I mean? So like, come on, like we're not dumb. We're not dumb.
Yeah.
But the general NFL fan is stupid.
Well, for the Falcons, to pick up Kirk Cousins to give him $180 million,
and then draft the quarterback after that.
Then draft Michael Penix right after that and end up starting him to end this season. It's crazy.
Yeah. A little update for you. Joe Burrow now 12 for 12, 94 yards. The Bengals are up 10-0.
The third best quarterback in the league right there.
So we're going to be seeing Pittsburgh next week.
Yeah, probably.
Well, that the NFL wants to see that matchup. Obviously, it's one of the best rivalries in all of sports.
I think they're happy either way because you get the Harbaugh Bowl, the other direction.
Yeah.
I
think.
But you prefer
a team. There was one team who faced the team 3 times one year and won the Super Bowl. The New York Giants did that with the Cowboys. So y'all may win the Super Bowl this year.
Congratulations.
to them.
The Steelers,
I just-
did that to us that one year.
I
Maybe
just
it's
don't
3 times in a row.
understand how you're always able to bend whatever topic it is back to a Giants Super Bowl win. I don't understand it, and I hate it. And we're gonna ban it on this show.
By the
How
way,
do y'all feel?
By the way, the
How-
Ravens win Super Bowls 12 years apart. By the way,
That happened once.
no. That's a good
How
point.
do y'all feel about the Ravens facing the Steelers in the playoffs? Like, it's a rivalry game, right? So I think that's definitely tougher than having to play the Chargers. However, I mean, we're watching them in real time right now. They didn't look good last week. They're not looking good this week. They might be starting to fall apart a little bit. Like, what do y'all think about it?
It's another mental hurdle for them because the Steelers have been beating them quite a bit recently.
Yeah.
Like I said, they are Baltimore's chief rival. It is one of the probably still the best rivalry in the NFL. If they were to play them in the playoffs, I've made my feelings about Russell Wilson clear. I like Russ, but at this point in his career, he gives you about half a season. And if I check my watch here, we're time's about up. I honestly think if Pittsburgh comes to Baltimore, they will beat the brakes off of Pittsburgh next week.
Yeah.
Hey, can we talk about how when Mike Tomlin
That's for you. That's for you, Ferris. Just I want to know if you'll curse out Dan Orlovsky when
dude, he's dumb.
to
I'm
ESPN.
sorry, bro. Like I used to like the guy, but he's an idiot. And I'm sorry. Like he can stop talking. To be quite honest with you, I'm done with him.
Hey, we got 9 more minutes to reach our goal, ladies and gentlemen. 9 more minutes to reach our goal, our super chat goal. All right, you
Also
see it there. No, what are you gonna say, man? What are you gonna say, Ferris?
Have anyone ever wondered when Mike Tomlin gets that guarantee it's not a losing season game, he like checks out and the team sucks afterwards? Has anyone ever noticed that?
I don't.
For years,
I don't-
when he gets 8, everyone noticed.
That's like when Doug Hodges is your starting quarterback, you're not checking out. You've done all you've gone as far as you can with him.
It's been a while since they've had a competent quarterback in Pittsburgh.
Well, I mean, they should have tanked at least 1 or 2 seasons so they could get an actual starter. And a lot of that was Ben Roethlisberger. He held on, I feel like, a little bit too long to where he was not bad enough for them to get a competent quarterback in the draft, but not good enough for them to actually win once they got to the playoffs. And that's like that no man's land you see in the NBA with like 8th and 9th seeds to where they just can't tank far enough to get that
Picking 17th.
Yeah, picking 17th. Yeah,
you picking 17th. You need a guy in the top 5. And
I
that's
remember
what the Steelers been missing.
I remember when they played Washington, they just drafted Chase Young, and he went up to him. Tomlin went up to Chase Young and said, "I never want to be bad enough to draft a player like you." Right?
yeah.
Like that's his mentality. He's like, "Yo, you're a great player, and we're not going to get you by drafting
Ever.
you." You know what I'm saying? Like ever. And you have to respect that. That man doesn't ever want to lose, and he doesn't have losing seasons, right?
Organizational thing, like the Rooneys don't want that either.
Yes,
they don't want
it's
that.
up to the front office to provide him with a quarterback. That's not his fault. That's the organization's fault.
And I'm
that's why they haven't fired
maintaining that
him.
if they had drafted Malik Willis and let him sit and actually develop him, they'd have a starting quarterback. I think that's true of Tennessee as well. I think you've seen that since he's been in Green Bay. He the turnaround in his play. So they can get a quarterback. They haven't up to this point.
I think
they have a good player in Justin Fields. His thing is gonna be the mental thing. He's obviously got the ability, the physical ability, but he's so conservative now because they broke him in Chicago. Like they got to get him out of that. But if you watched in Carolina, it's possible for those guys to bounce back. It doesn't happen often, but he's gotten to sit for the second half of this season. He's going to have obviously the whole off season and everything to kind of decide his future. But I think that if he's willing to go back to Pittsburgh, they can develop him and help him reach the potential he had when he got drafted to begin with.
Well, that's the problem right there, right? Malik Willis got traded to Green Bay with Matt LaFleur and that offensive coaching staff. Do we trust Arthur Smith? I don't. I don't. I don't trust him at all. You know what I mean? We talk about Bryce Young, Dave Canales, who kind of helped Baker Mayfield along in Tampa Bay, and he's doing the same thing with Bryce Young. Arthur Smith is a football terrorist. You know what I mean? I don't trust him with any.
I think they would tell you that's Matt Canada, who they just got rid of.
No. Well, yeah, exactly. But he's like, if you watched him in Atlanta or Tennessee, like people in Atlanta wanted to, quarter him at one point because they're like, you're a horrible coach. You drafted Bijan, you got Kyle Pitts, you got Drake London, and you're doing nothing with them.
Yeah, but the way the NFL works right now is you either have to draft that quarterback that's going to be a franchise guy, or you got to spend loads of money in free agency or make some sort of crazy trade to be able to get a guy that can be the guy. And that's what Pittsburgh has been missing all these years. They have this old school philosophy of AFC North football, old AFC Central. Let's play defense, run the football. But if you don't have a top 5 to 10 quarterback, you can't win. Like I look at Detroit with Jared Goff. Nobody thought he was a top 10 quarterback. The guy's been proven for the last 2 or 3 seasons. He is a top 10 quarterback. He might not be glamorous like Lamar or Barrow or Mahomes, but the guy gets it done on Sunday. And that's what it comes down to. Pittsburgh doesn't have the guy at quarterback. Russell was that guy in 2015. 2014. He ain't that guy no more. Justin Fields might be able to be that guy, but without the right guy at OC, and you said first that Arthur Smith ain't the guy, he probably not. Matt Canada definitely wasn't the guy. He wasn't going to develop nobody at quarterback. No. And the philosophy of Pittsburgh has just been defense, Tomlin, and Rooney. And this is how they play football over the years, and this is why they haven't been able to win once we got beyond 2008 in their last Super Bowl.
Now, let me ask. So just Alice says the Steelers look terrible. It's like they aren't even trying. Show some pride. Maybe they're not trying. Because while we're sitting here saying, hey, that it's a mental hurdle for the Ravens.
Maybe they want the
Steelers. They might say, we prefer the Ravens.
Yeah.
Right? That'd be a colossal mistake.
Yes.
I understand maybe thinking that, hey, not being afraid of the Ravens. I don't think they're afraid of the Ravens by any stretch, right?
No.
But the alternative is the Houston Texans. And the Houston Texans are reeling. Houston Texans, they cannot protect C.J. Stroud. I don't even want to say he's regressed, but he's looked bad. They've gotten a lot of their talent on offense is hurt. You go to Houston, and you're pretty much writing down a W in pen before you even play that game. You go to Baltimore, and you feel confident, and you're going to say, what happened?
Yeah, man, because Houston, man, they're starting third stringers, fourth stringers on the offensive line. They're David Carring him. He's the most sacked quarterback in the league, or second. Well, you know what I mean? And you got T.J. Watt.
Yeah, and it's the point I wanted to make, Jose. And it's just a question more so for you guys. Do you feel like the NFL should be sticking with this division winner gets a home game rule? Because the Texans don't look like a team, in my opinion, that should be hosting a playoff game, regardless of winning that weak division they're in.
Yeah, I do.
No, I keep it.
Yeah. I think winning the division has to mean something. It has to matter. And this isn't like college where you say, hey, this so-and-so team didn't play anybody, blah, blah, blah. Like, you're all playing professional teams. But the bulk of your schedule is in that division. And if you win it, you're first in, you get your home game. It is what it is. Like, if Green Bay at 11 wins, and then Minnesota or Detroit at 13 wins wants to get mad about it, win your division.
Get mad about it. Yeah, we don't care.
Win your division or go on the road and beat Tampa Bay. Like, those are your choices. You'll be able to do either one, but you can't. Those will be like, oh, we should be hosting a home game. No, you didn't meet the requirement. So you don't get to host it.
Yeah, everybody has the same opportunity to win the division.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Also, too, like I remember, when Seattle was 7-9, and everyone was like, "This is BS." But everyone thought the Saints were going to beat them anyway. So the Saints are going to win. They're going to win anyway, and they lost.
Yeah.
And then that's when the beast quake happened.
Exactly, they lost. So keep it moving, bro. Ain't no one care.
Yeah. It looks funny when it's like, oh, this team doesn't have a great record, this other team has a better record, but they have to go on the road. Yeah, sucks. Yeah, your division was very competitive that year, and you didn't win it, so you have to go on the road.
Yeah, go win a road game. That's what separates the great teams from the bad teams. Go win a road game, and it's possible.
That's what it comes down to. At the end, are you the better team or not?
Yeah, the New York Giants won 3 straight road games to make it to the Super Bowl in 2007. You know what I mean?
Again, just pretend it's college football and just walk around and tell everybody, hey, you know what, man? The AFC South is the SEC. Okay, you couldn't handle it. All right, so whatever.
Yeah,
because that's what they do.
Well, this year the SEC sucked, so it's definitely.
I'm gonna tell you a secret. The SEC sucks most years. It's a top-heavy conference.
It's usually one team that only mattered. It was Alabama, and then the occasional LSU when they had like generational talents that everyone overlooked. You're like, how do you not know who Justin Jefferson was? Did you know Kansas was gonna make Jamar Chase play corner?
Oh, only
you know that?
Things like that, Ferris.
Les Miles, he was committed to Kansas, and he was going to play wide receiver for Les Miles. Then Les Miles said, "I want you to play corner," and he was like, "Bye."
And look at it, and more fool him. He would have won a Heisman.
Yeah, he would have been Travis Hunter if he played corner and wide receiver back then.
No.
Ferris, you are the oldest young person I've ever met.
No, not play both ways on Adrian. Just corner.
Just corner. Oh.
Just corner. It's like you're a corner.
Hey, look, some of that stuff, yeah, maybe it's true, maybe it's not. But I also heard that Mac Brown wanted, who was it? I want to say maybe it was Andrew Luck to play in the secondary.
It's Giant Manziel.
Manziel to play DB.
What did Manziel to play? What, like safety?
And RG3.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
That's why he got fired.
Because he didn't really like dual threat quarterbacks.
Yeah, that's why he got Garrett Gilbert. Shout out to Garrett Gilbert.
No shout out to Garrett Gilbert.
Okay, no shout out to Garrett Gilbert.
Bill Polian said Lamar Jackson was a running back or a wide receiver in the NFL level.
Mm-hmm.
So,
yeah, and that's why he was fired.
Hall of Fame GM. GM.
Sure.
Yeah. All right. Look, we're gonna wrap it up here. We gotta make this a short one because we have some more things to do behind the scenes. Okay, we're putting out a lot more content. We hope you're enjoying it. But yeah, we got something we need to work on. The show will be back live on Wednesday. All right, you're getting the live show this Wednesday.
Unless y'all really like the recorded versions.
Yes.
So go ahead and put that in the chat if you really like the recorded shows.
Hey, judging off the views of the last one, they liked it.
There you go.
Also, patreon.com/LBHTShow. We put a little gift out there on the Christmas episode. There's a link there if you want to check out Patreon for free for a month. It's less than a month now. I think there's like 2 or 3 weeks left in that. But you can click the link and get free access until I think the end of this month, whenever it is, January 25th or something like that. All right, so you'll get access to the overtime show. You get access to the Discord. There's only a handful of links, so you got to click on that link, and then redeem the code, and then you don't have to put any payment information or anything like that. You can just sign up and you get free access. Okay, and then after that, if you want to support, it's only like $5 or $10 or $20. Okay, you get to choose.
There's no limit to how much you can give. Right.
So patreon.com/LBHTShow. I was going to play the ad, but I didn't load it. That's okay. I need to make another one. Yes. So, all right. Ferris, let the people know where they can find you.
You guys can find me on the Let's Get Ready Network channels. Let's Get Ready Network highlights / it's kind of sports now because we're rebranding. We're over 200 subscribers. We're at 205. So thank you guys so much. Whoever subscribed.
What do you mean rebranding? It's highlight sports.
I think it's just sports now.
Let's LGRN Sports.
Yeah, but it's still LGRN highlights. The link is still highlights. It's still highlights. So there's that link. That link still works. LGRN Entertainment on the other side. We got over 1,000 over there. If you like movies and trailer reactions and reviews, we're over there as well. Find me at Ferris Mathana on Twitter, or I'm also on Blue Sky. Finally, I'm ferrismathana.bluesky.whatever media thing, what it was.
And we got a super chat from Osmond. Thank you very much.
To Osmond.
I like the recorded show, and then it just got really fuzzy after that.
I like the live show a little bit better.
Come on, Ferris.
We appreciate you, Osmond. Yes. We enjoy doing a live show too. All right.
Thank you.
Come on, Ferris. I was helping you out.
No, you weren't. It wasn't fuzzy. I didn't want to read it, Ferris.
Oh.
I want the recorded
B doesn't like
show.
doing live shows.
Okay. Well, you know what, B? You need to suck it up. All right. So deal with it. Yeah.
Wow.
I like doing a live show. That's less work on me.
Yeah. And also too, someone didn't get their invitation for the recorded show. Someone's probably a little salty. I'm not gonna lie to you. Someone. I don't know who.
Not
Well,
you. Definitely not
It
you.
may be Arab. I don't know.
But you're Indian, so it doesn't.
Whoa. Okay, I'll accept Asian. I'll accept. Mysterious brown guy.
I thought he was Puerto Rican.
And I'll take that too. Shout out to the women. But
you can't shout out to the women. Like, let's wrap it up. It's done. It's over.
Adrian, let the people know where they can
off
find
the
you.
rails.
Yeah, y'all can find me on all social media at the Sunglass Kid, DASUNGLASSKID. Lunch break high tech. Y'all know what it is. Ravens versus Steelers. That's I'm calling it. That's happening next week. M&T Bank Stadium. We're gonna beat them down to the ground. TJ Watt, you ain't doing nothing. Najee Harris, you getting shut down. Mike Tomlin, you gonna shut up. We winning. Ravens all day, baby. Super Bowl. Let's go.
Let's go. All right. You can find us on all social media at LBHTShow. All right. B, are you ready?
I am ready.
He is ready. We will see you guys on Wednesday. Go Ravens. Peace.